Alright, so I'm going to do like this flatbread opened chili and cheese meal. I'll call it that. We're going to have a salad and everything too. So this is the chili that I'm using. I bought this, I think at the end of last summer I found this when I was online, and I tried it. It's pretty good if you can eat what's in it. It's vegan, plant-based, no beans. It reminds me, I'm from the East Coast originally. I'm on the West Coast now for 9 years. It reminds me of hot dog chili. You go to a hot dog vendor or you go to a hot dog stand or something, and it has that kind of chili taste to it. They must all use the same. So this tastes exactly like that. If it doesn't focus, then you can go and find the ingredients online. Hold on one second. All right, there we go. So it's got soy in it, so you might not be able to do that. Oats and stuff like that. Some people have allergies to oats. I don't know. So go online and check it out. BPA liner, all that kind of stuff. Vegan, non-GMO. So if you like that, let me show you what it looks like. You can add your own beans to it as well. It even looks like hot dog chili, and it tastes exactly like hot dog chili. So if you came from New York, Philly, Jersey, probably Boston, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hot dog chili. So if you like that, then you'll love it. Okay, so I got some stuff fresh from my garden. Some stuff is from the store. And what I'm going to do with the chili is, you may not think this is good, but put some nice sweet apple in it. It tastes so awesome. You might say, apple and chili. Try it. It's awesome. That's what I'm going to do. This is from the store, organic garlic. This is from my garden. I'll show you my garden real quickly too inside. This is giant celery. It grows way bigger than this, but it's not mature, and I don't really mind that because it tastes exactly the same. So when I need it, I go and clip it like I just did before I made this video and turn it on. And what I like about it is, so if it was double to triple the size, I'd have to cut it and dice it and cut it and dice it. When it's this size, I don't have to do that. And it keeps growing, so you don't have to worry about it. This is cilantro fresh from my indoor garden. I'll show you that too. And I don't have any tomatoes. I would love to have tomatoes ready, but they're not, and I didn't go to the store. That would be good too. So the chili is going to be cooked plain because there's going to be extra. And then on my plate, on the bread that I'm going to make, and I'll show you all that, is going to be the apples added in. I'm going to throw this in the chili now, but this, and this will go on raw after I make the bread and everything and spread it on there. This is my vegan cheese. I'll explain how to make that. It's so simple and easy and awesome. And then I'm going to have a side salad. So I'm going to cut up this salad. That's store-bought. This is a leftover radish and some greens I'm going to cut up in there. Here's some organic Brussels sprouts. I am growing that too, but they're just getting going. They're babies. I've been trying to grow stuff for about 1.5 years, and as I show you real quickly, it's simple. For the bread, here's the bread. This is a non-GMO artesian flour. It's got malted barley. It almost looks like yeast bread. Like you start mixing it with water and it starts pulling like yeast. It's really awesome. It tastes fabulous. The bread that I'm making, I make folded over like quesadillas with it. I make cold veggie sandwich with it. I use them as flatbread just for soups and salad. I make pizza with them. It's awesome. Olive oil in the pan because that's what the bread's going to be cooked in. I got the bread set up over here. I'll go over this really briefly. So you can add as much flour as you want. There's like a cup of flour in here, maybe 1.5 cups. And when you do this, just make it to however many you want. This will make about 2 to 3 decent size ones about as round as this. It's about 8 inches. That's like a cup and a half of flour. You don't need to worry about how much water because you just add it until you get a pancake batter type consistency. And you'll see it. I'll show it to you. Sprinkle some salt to your flavor, however salty you want, and pepper. And I just sprinkle some baking powder on and mix it up real well. That's it. That's all you have to do. Sometimes I put oil in it. Sometimes I don't. I don't taste the difference because I cook it in the pan anyway with oil. So I would say don't waste putting oil in there. You can do anything you want. Briefly, I've done breads with garlic and onion and tomato and roasted red bell peppers in there, and it was awesome. I did a sweet bread with it, minus this stuff, and I did apples in it and cinnamon, and it came out awesome. Not like a pancake, it was more like a pulled bread. So it was like a really nice sweet bread. You can do whatever you want in it. I've done so many different things with it. Parsley, herbs, sage and rosemary work excellent. Oregano, do it like this with some fresh or dried oregano for a nice pizza tasting crust. It's really great. So I'm going to take you on a quick tour of my garden to inspire you indoors, and then I'm going to get this meal prepped and ready and show you what's going on. All right, so I live on a second floor, 2-bedroom apartment. I got 4 of these racks. I got them online Walmart. So if you're in an apartment, you got a basement, and if you live in a home, a garage, a work shed, you can do this easily. They're 3 feet wide, they're 6 feet tall, and 16 inches deep, and they're 5 adjustable shelves, and they're like $55-$60 with tax, white, black, or chrome. They're excellent. This is by my back door. I got one in my kitchen and my 2 bedrooms. They don't take up a lot of floor room. 16 inches isn't a lot, but it's enough. That pot there, that yellow one, is 19 inches. So you can do this. So I like to show this in my cooking videos to show you 2 things. A, you can clip right what you need when you're making your dinner. It's awesome. It makes your house look nice. It's fun, and it saves you so much money. Like right here, you save so much money. That's mini bell peppers. You want to buy one or a few at the store, you're looking at $4 or $5. Cilantro fresh in a packet or in a rubber band, $2, $3, $4. Oregano. Strawberries, I'll explain that to you later. There's some celery. That's not the one I cut. That's not as mature as the other one. In the back, sage, another $3, $4, $5. Here's Roma tomatoes that are growing. There's social garlic. Brussels sprouts are down there. Here's a big pepper that's growing. I must have dropped the seed in it. Here was 2 onions, organic from the store, and they started to sprout. So I put them in the ground, and now they're sprouting like crazy. They should grow, I guess, stems and flowers, produce seeds, and now I'll have my own onions. So let's see what else here. We got lettuce, 2 different kinds of romaine lettuce. One's going to be all green, and one's going to have that like purplish red tint to it. Radishes I pretty much finished up. There's a couple in there that didn't do so well. There's that organic garlic. It started to sprout. One of those things was sprouting. Now it has a whole bunch of them. So again, that will probably flower and seed, and then I'll collect the seeds from it. Some leftover cucumbers that are still trying to grow. I collected most of them. Some of them, I guess, are left behind, or it's just trying to produce again. I don't know. The lights are red and blue spectrum. They're GE Grow lights, 2 feet long. They're awesome. You don't need the 3-foot ones. They're white light, even though they're red and blue. And that means they're from start to finish, from seed to fruit and flower. And as you can see, everything grows. So whether you're doing herbs or you want to do some peppers or lettuces, you save yourself a lot. And by the way, there's basil. That's going to seed. And I've had it for about a year, and I clipped it a lot. So it's probably saying, you know what, it's time to seed. And that's about it for here. Oh, hold on one second. Hit the wrong button here. All right. So we're still getting 45 to 50 degrees overnight. So some things are coming in. This is giant parsley, which is giant/giant leaf Italian parsley. It's awesome. Grows so easy, so fast. So I got 3 different tomatoes. This is Campari tomatoes. And the Roma tomatoes I showed you there. There's also Roma in here. The Campari is the first time I've ever grown it. And this right here is grape. First time I've ever grown it. So they're kind of straggly and they didn't do well. Now I know that I'll trim them like the rest of the tomatoes that I trim. The Campari I didn't have to do anything with. It's growing perfect, just like a plant should grow. And it's making flowers in other sections. And it's bushy and it's not that tall. Why the grape tomato grew like a scrawny stalk, I don't know why. But let me show you this first. So here's some more peppers. These are going to be large red bell peppers. And these are potatoes, red new potatoes. So potatoes, 3 different tomatoes, mini peppers, and big peppers. All store-bought, non-GMO and or organic. Ate them or spudded them and seeded them, and I keep doing it over and over. Saves you a ton of money, and it's fun, and you see how you can do this. So you see the amount of light for 2. This one only has 2 racks technically, the bottom and here. mostly to house my strawberries. I'll explain that in a minute. And then you can see the 2-foot light is all you need. Don't go and buy the 3 or 4 foot light. You do not need it. It's way too much, and it brightens the whole room. You don't have to use any other lights. So here's the celery I just cut. So as you can see, it's more mature than the other one, and it's huge. And there's another basil I have growing down here, and some more strawberries. There's some wild mint over there. That's from the mountains, actually. So that's the most organic non-GMO thing I have, technically. I pulled it 5 years ago, not that plant, but another one from a creek side in the mountains, and now I have like 4 pots of them. All right, so here is one bedroom, and I started with 6 strawberries, 2 of one kind, 4 of another, and that was a year and a half ago. It is November of 2021 is when I started this, and they just kept, here's a berry right here, they just kept babying, and I'll show you what that means. So some of these are starting to berry again. A baby is when they put a vine out, and then you got to pot it. And they just keep doing it. You'll see all through the house. You saw in that first room. They're just doing it everywhere. And this is what, if you never saw a strawberry, they make a nice, beautiful white flower first, and then it turns into that. And then a strawberry turns red. So here's some up here. You can see them. And they're berrying like crazy. As you can see, they're also babying like crazy. So let me go to the other room and explain this. All right, so 3 weeks ago I bought this. Because of that, all those babies. Babies, 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 babies everywhere. Babies everywhere. You saw them as we went through the house, like 140 something. I gave maybe 6, 8 away already to my neighbors. I'll probably try to give some more away. And then there's some more wild mint and mini bell peppers and pomegranate bonsai tree that's edible, and just some flowers and stuff that I grow as well. Cosmos, and I don't know what they are, and some forget-me-nots. So, real briefly here, so we get back to cooking, is if you're going to get strawberries, be prepared. I wasn't prepared for this. They say that they may make daughter plants. They may make daughter plants. Well, mine are like, well, we'll make daughter plants. You can't really see it. It's kind of, you can figure it out on your own. Sometimes, like a plant like this, let me see, it goes to there, so there's 1. It goes over there, so there's 2. So that was like 2 it made. I've had one plant make 5 on its own. It made 5 babies at one time, and then the babies were making babies. It's absolutely everywhere. So you can see them everywhere, all over the place. So if you get strawberries, be prepared for that. Everything is easy to take care of. If you're working all day and night and you think, oh, I can't do this, all you have to do is water it. Take you 15 minutes to go through and water all of this at night or in the morning, whatever it is. And if you don't want to keep the lights on during the day while you're working, they're 40-watt lights. They don't increase your electric bill or anything. Put them on overnight while you're sleeping and shut them off in the morning and then go to work. That's it. That's really all you have to do. The strawberries, you would have to trim some old leaves off and clip and make the babies, and that's it. Everything else, you just clip when you need to eat it. It's that simple. So I like to share that with you so you don't think that it's so overwhelming. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. It's not. And start off with 1. Start off with 1 and say maybe do some herbs. Maybe do a shelf of herbs and then some like lettuces and salad material, some celeries, and maybe some little tomatoes or something, and try it out. It's really, really simple. So again, 2nd floor apartment, 2 bedroom, and I'm doing this. If you have a home and you want to do it indoors all year round, garage, a basement, or one of your rooms. All right, so really quickly before I start prepping this, everything's non-GMO and organic. The strawberries were roots. Everything was seed except for the tomatoes, the peppers, and the potatoes. I bought them from the store. And that's really it. It's really fun and it's really simple. I would have more things going, like spinach and a couple other things, but because of the strawberries that are everywhere, I can't grow some more things that I would want to grow, or keep reproducing like lettuce after lettuce on different shelves. That way when I start eating some, the other one's already ready to go because of the strawberries. But you could easily do that once you get a hang of it. So let me go and prep all this, put it together, make it look all nice, and I'll go and do that. And I'll show you the bread as well, what kind of consistency you need. Let me just go over this real quickly here. Let me get it out so you can see it. All right, so the vegan cheese is simple. It comes out like a wet mozzarella almost kind of feel and look to it. And I'll show you what to do. So you can use whatever vegan cheese you like. I use Thrive Market. It's awesome Parmesan. It's exactly like the real thing. If it doesn't focus, then you can go online. There it goes, and check it out. It's got all this thing here. So it's excellent. And then you get yourself some agar powder in a recycled container. That's another thing. 1 meal a day, non-GMO organic, and do the best you can to buy things that can only be recycled. Glasses, cans, 1 and 2 plastics. Stay away from this. I didn't know this was. I ordered this online. They showed it like I thought it was going to come like they sent me the oranges, like they sent me a handful of oranges. I figured maybe they'd probably bag it up or something, but I never seen Brussels sprouts in my own store like this. They were always where you pick them out of a bin in your own hand. So I won't order this again because I can't get rid of that bag. These bags come when I do order food online or products from anywhere that has like glass in it, and then I just use them until they're almost, and then I wash them in my sink or I wash them in my dishwasher, and then if they get too worn down, I use them for my rocks and stuff, and then eventually they'll probably have to be thrown away. 1 meal a day, non-GMO organic, eat as raw as you can, and try to grow your own food and everything. And veganism, of course. Stay away from, like, this is processed. It's vegan, but it's processed, so it's, you know, it's obviously not that good for you. Is it better than eating meat and regular milk and dairy? Yeah, obviously, awesome compared to that. But it's not something you want to eat all the time. So to make the vegan cheese, you get yourself a blender, get yourself 15 ounces of non-dairy milk. This time around, it happened to be a vanilla almond milk, but usually it's just plain. And you can use coconut cream if you want as well. Put 15 ounces in a blender. Put 4 tablespoons of this and 1.5 tablespoons of this. Salt and pepper it to your taste. Blend it up in a blender. I have molds, that's why they look like this. You can put it in a Tupperware of any size and just slice around the edge and dump it out and cut it, whatever you want to do. So 15 ounces of your milk, your non-dairy milk, 4 tablespoons cheese, 1.5 tablespoons agar, blend it up, salt, pepper to taste. Now what I'm telling you is just for regular cheese, pizzas, the meal I'm making, quesadillas and stuff like that. After I explain it to you, I'll tell you what else you can do. After you blend it up, you put it in a pot. You get a whisk. You put it on 5-6 on the stove, medium, and you whisk it up until it bubbles and bubbles and bubbles. Give it about 7 to 10 minutes tops. After it thickens and bubbles, let it cool. Keep whipping it and whipping it. You need to activate the yeast, the agar. And by the way, agar is a red algae. So it's gelatin red algae, from a red algae. Then you pour it into your molds, pop it in the fridge for 20 minutes. It will be done, cold, and ready to cut. I'll show you when I get to cutting it what it looks like. Now, I've used dark cherries like this in it. I've used raspberry jelly. I've used herbs and like parsley and dill. I've put red roasted bell pepper and basil in it. Awesome. If you like that kind of stuff to use on crackers and cheese, it's awesome. All right, so this was just a regular recipe. You can do whatever you want with it. All right, let's get going. All right, so don't throw the celery leaves away. Dice them up in your salad. I personally don't like them in my salad, so I put them in like a broth for soup. That's how I use them. So don't throw them away. Same thing with the cilantro. Use the stems as well. So here's the cheese cut. I got to tell you one more thing about the cheese I forgot. So that's it. So let me get it out just in case you've never seen it before. So I bought this last summer when I first started to make the cheese. Again, it doesn't have the ability to be recycled. Even if it did, my places don't take bags like this. They never did. I think it goes around the whole country and stuff. So try to stay away from this. I haven't been able to find it in a container like a regular flour. I have other flours that I have in containers like oat flour, quinoa flour, and stuff like that. I got to get that bread flour somehow in a container or something that can mimic that bread flour. So anyway, this recipe I gave you for the cheese is perfect. If you want it to melt slightly better, you can do a teaspoon and a half to 2 teaspoons of arrowroot powder in it. I made a quesadilla last night with this version and with the other version, and it seemed to be okay. If you're going to make pizza and you want it to melt a little bit better, then you should probably put that in there. 1 to 2 teaspoons of arrowroot flour. This will still melt. I'm gonna let me just show you with this piece. So let's say it was hot, and then you just press it down with your finger. You see, it squishes down. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on how hot like the sauce is or whatever you're making. But you don't have to use the arrowroot flour. I just wanted to share that with you. And okay, so let me go over here. I don't know if I can do this with one hand. So you get it to that pancake battery type thing. Like that, so you can see, and don't worry about any lumps. It's not going to affect anything. You can see the pull. It's like yeast, almost like a yeasted bread. It has that pull to it, not like a regular flour, all-purpose flour that would be like pancake dough. This is like a pull. It's got a nice heavy pull to it, and that's going to give it that nice pulley, like garlic naan or flatbread where you can tear it and it's chewy. So that's how you want to get it, like that. You just add water and stir until it gets like that. Now, when you pour it, I use a spoon. I use this big spoon. I pour it. Then I get my spatula and I kind of spread it out to the thickness I want. If you want it a 1/2 inch thick, then spread it to about a 1/4 inch thick, and it will puff up. I want mine a little bit thinner tonight, so I'm going to try to get it as thin as I can because it's still going to puff up pretty good. I don't really think it's the baking powder. I think it's just the bread, the way this bread cooks. But it's going to be quick and easy on the stove. So my stove's getting warm at 5 or 6, and then we're going to pour this in. All right, while my bread is going to get hot on the stove here, I didn't pour it yet. Look into this. Vega One all-in-one shake. Chocolate, excellent. Mocha, very good. Chocolate mint, good, but very, very minty. If you grow your own spearmint leaves like me, you're best off just throwing chocolate or mocha and adding your mint leaves when you want chocolate mint in the blender. I like this just in water, sometimes a little bit of almond milk. Excellent chocolate flavor, good mocha flavor. Stay away from their 2 vanillas, regular and French vanilla. Absolutely horrible. Garden of Life, very good vanilla flavor. Chocolate is all right, it's kind of blah. This chocolate here is just excellent, excellent. Out of 5 or 6 I've tasted over the years, this is the chocolate that tastes the best. And the mocha is really good. Like I said, the mint is good, but you need only like a 1/2 teaspoon compared to the big scoop to make it minty. I can't even imagine a whole shake minty. That's how minty it is. It's ridiculous. So here's 2 good companies. I've already had that for my meal today, during the day, and this is my one meal. Like, that's drink, but this is like one physical eating meal, solid meal. And then let me show you something else. See this guy right here? Let me tell you about this thing. All right, so this is another great way to stay alkaline. Eat as raw as you can, lots of water, stay away from processed foods, and eat plant material. So spirulina, fresh and salt water, processed. Let's see if this can come in here. Okay. There it goes. See, it says naturally contains. So I looked up the scientific data she sent me on the email because the old label said it. This doesn't say it. AK and B12, you're looking at 200 to 300%. So that's awesome. And then what they kept on the label here, you can see iron, protein 4%. I think it says iron 20%. But if you need B12, A, and K, you're looking at 200 to 300% natural. Same thing with the rest of the stuff you see in there. A lot of good stuff. Watermelon flavor tonight. All grass. It's all grasses and veggies and herbs and stuff like that. And so I take about 1/4 to 1/8 teaspoon of this with a full scoop of this, and I make that drink you just saw. Watermelon, not bad. Tangerine, excellent. Lemon lime, excellent. Berry, very good. So they're the flavors I like. And the chocolate's actually really good too. Reminds me of Yoo-Hoo, like chocolate drink. So this is another great way to go. Alright, so I spread it out with the 2 spoons like I said. And it's about an 1/8 inch thick, but it'll probably be about 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. Oop, got a little hole in the middle there. Let me spackle that up. Kind of want to keep it on the thinner side. So that's going to go for like 3-4 minutes. Then I'll flip it 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'll do that again. So 10 minutes tops. You get it to how crispy you want it or how doughy you want it. See how it rose and went up like that? You can make these where you can fold it over. Like last night I made a quesadilla, folded over. Oh, so good. I like a regular quesadilla with a flour tortilla, but this was really, really good. I think I made the bread with garlic in it, so it was really nice. Okay, I flipped it a few times, so I'm layering the cheese. Now I'm going to do the chili mix, and then I'm going to top it with cheese and cilantro and celery and the apple. Okay, so cheese, chili, more cheese, celery, and apple. And I'm going to save the cilantro for after I plate it because I like it nice and fresh. I don't like when my cilantro gets too, mushy and everything, unless I do a quick quesadilla with it. Now, here's a note. I've done the chili on this bread before, but all on its own. I've never did this, so this is the first time for me. The chili on the bread was so good that's why I decided to do this tonight. So I think I'm just going to let it, put a top on it, and let it melt down a little bit, and then it should be good to go. Have you stayed with me this far, or had you skimmed ahead to the end? All right. I threw the extra cheese and apples on here. So a nice salad. Remember, it was Brussels sprouts, lettuce, organic, non-GMO, black cherries. Now the apple, the vegan cheese, and some Brussels sprouts are in there. I don't have any tomatoes and stuff. I gotta get to the store. And over here, if you want this more crispy, then make sure you crisp it up a lot on its own before you put the chili on, because that's going to weigh it down and make it a little bit more soft. I can't bite into it yet, so I'm going to pause you until this cools down. As you can see over here, the top cheese over here melted somewhat. Over here it kind of stayed, but you can start to see the oiliness and everything as it pulls apart. Over here, the cheese in here underneath turned gooey. That's just my finger touching it. So that's good. So if you want it more melty, then add the arrowroot. If you're fine with this, then just make it like that. It looks so good, but it's hot. Okay, that's really good. Maybe I should just call this a chili pizza. Really, really good. The chili has some heat to it, but not that much at all, but enough to know there's a little spice in it. And the apples with the sweetness make it really, really nice. Over here, I forgot to tell you, I had some of the Shaker vegan Parmesan cheese I also put on there. And then I just put the rest of the cilantro and celery that couldn't fit on the chili pizza on here. And then there's the drink. So yeah, it's really good. If you stayed with me this long, let's just call it a chili pizza then. Make it up any way you want. And if you have a family, that one can is basically here. There's maybe about 2 tablespoons left, and I ate about 2 tablespoons. So you might be able to get 2 smaller versions of these with a can of that chili. So keep that in mind. All right. Other than that, it's pretty good. It's fun. It's tasty. So that's it. All right. Lots of love to you. And if you don't know the word alkalinity over acidity, it just means like a pool, you want to stay crystal clean. So eat as raw as you can. Eat as fresh as you can. That's another great thing about growing the stuff in your house. Get juices like that. Drink tons of water. Stay away from processed foods. Limit them as much as you can. Smoking, drinking is really, really acidic to your body. Processed foods, medicines are all acidic to your body. So yeah, stay away from that. Sugar, white sugar is totally acidic to your body. Stay away from that kind of stuff and eat as healthy as you can. Clear your mind, clear your emotions. All right? Lots of love to you all. Zoom in. All right. Love you. Bye.